This time I'd like to call Monica Grayson, who will just.
The shortest welcome in the newspaper.
I didn't see him already.
Well, incredible race. It was so much fun to meet all of you, to see all of our friends. I do want to go through our sponsor list again. This race would not happen without our key sponsors. I know the list is long, and I read it super fast. I'm not going to read it as fast as Big Draw. So KQDS, My 95.7, Cat Country, and KDAL. We do a lot of our promotional radio announcements to get people to our fundraisers. Duluth Trading has been a great cash partner and in-kind partner for years. Grand Portage Lodge and Casino, obviously, their folks, a couple of them are in the room. Thanks so much, Brian. IRRB, for those of you that don't know, IRRB, they're a major cash sponsor of a lot of the behind-the-scenes things that we need. They funded our new website that crashed. So really appreciate that tax net revenue that we get. Bev Cattle and Lane Feeds are our canine care sponsors, so all of that money is, some of it went to the purses, as we're going to find out very shortly where it all went, and some of it went into pet care and trail. We have Ernix, RMS, which cleared about 400 million pounds of snow out of Finland for us. Love Lake County, huge partner. They have been tremendous. They helped us at the very end when we needed a little extra push. So thanks to Janelle and her team. Noto Designs, we actually have Krista and Daniel here in the corner. They designed our website and this isn't working. What are we doing? So thank you guys. Thanks for being part of this race. Munching Midwest, you all know Craig, they did a great job this year. Nutrisource, Brook River Photography, I think Heidi and Jean took off. Visit Cook County, another great cash supporter and helping me in all media. Trestle Inn, Trail Center, Billings, East End Auto Value. Visit Duluth, another huge partner for us. They help me monitor and keep track of what's going on out in the world. Skyport. And then we have a lot of new cash sponsors this year, which was really fun. Ferguson out of Duluth, Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union, L&M Fleet Supply. I gotta give a shout out to Shannon with Parkscape Bank. Where's Shannon? Oh, Beanie, as we call her. She's our treasurer. Freetown Pub, Grandma's, Blacklist, 7 West, Miller Hill, all helped us with a lot of fundraising events. We're probably going to bring in close to $15,000 in beer events, maybe a little more. We're still counting the money. Cook County News Herald, great partner. They sponsored some of our Cook County mushers. Blue Pearl Veterinary Clinic and Duluth Veterinary Hospital. They help support our vet team if they need that little extra push. Arrowhead Printing, Cleveland Cliffs, Visit Proctor, Muger, Red Paw, I know a lot of you use Red Paw, Ursa Minor, Sir Ben's, Duluth Cider, Earth Rider, Cooperative Power and Light, Castle Danger, Cross Anderson, Cove Point Lodge, Aspen Lodge, Wakari Larson and Company, Canal Park Lodge. All of these lodges save us anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000 in expenses with all those donated rooms for our teams, for our operational teams. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, Sunrise Cemetery, Keyboard Lounge, North Shore Bank of Commerce, Hungry Hippie Tacos, American, Docty and Duluth, Inn on Lake Superior, Jeweler of the North Shore, Pet Care of Duluth, Beacon Point, and Perfect Duluth Day. So thanks to all of our sponsors, thanks to a couple of you who were part of our race, and congratulations to all of you.
Did you add that Cook County provides our armor radio?
Oh, yes, and Cook County also provides our armor radios for all of our emergency. So thanks, Mike, for coordinating that.
So we get the opportunity to frequent any of our classes to do that. I'd love to be able to put this race on for nothing, but first grade costs a few bucks. I need to thank a few people that made this race possible. We'll start with the people that you don't see that do all the nitty-gritty dirty work. Probably don't get thanked enough. Be Alex in the back, who put trail boss, probably put in thousands of miles up and down this trail since early January of his own time, his own money, his own gas, to make sure that we had a trail that we could go 300 miles. Ran into a skid loader right in the middle of the trail where we wanted to go, so last minute shift and was able to get the trail in. So thank you to Alex and Mike. Is Mike here? So, and Big Mike, if you saw me, he's more than just a pretty face at the starting chute with all the patches. He's out there, and he'll be out there. Their work isn't done yet. They get to drive the entire trail back. All those signs that have kept you in the right direction, they get to come down. So someone has to go after the trail and sweep it and make sure it's safe. So thank you to them. Monica, obviously, all the work she puts in with the sponsors. Nobody likes to give money, and no one really likes to go ask for money. So she gets to do that, and I just get to do this. So, nice. And then Mary Jo does all the behind the scenes, our permitting, our insurance, all of these things. Those three, we would not have a race without the work that they do, and I can't thank them enough. And then next would be our board of directors. Not all of them are here. Vice President Jean, who's been doing this for many, many years, and keeps us on track. Our Secretary Joellen, our Treasurer Shannon, who makes sure we actually have money. Past President Carmen, who's has really been helpful for me this year to learn my position, and then a board director member, Amy Tucci. Did I miss? I think that's all over here. And then a bunch that just couldn't make up the race last minute.
Don't you go Blake?
Oh, thank you. Hey, who can forget Blake, right? The Musher rep, Blake Freckney. Please, I hope we get that information from that meeting. We strive to be better every single year. I know firsthand Blake is a huge advocate for the marathon, as he should be. A great voice, and every year you select a great Musher rep that we like to butt heads, but we're all trying to get to the same point. So thank you, Blake, for that, keeping us on task. And I know some of them are here. I know you all thanked them as much as you could as you went by, but our volunteers. It takes over 350 volunteers working throughout the year to make this race happen. Finding people willing to stand at a road crossing in sub-zero temperatures for 6 to 8 hours is not easy. But they do it, they come back every year and they love it. Some of them are here. If you're a volunteer, could you all just raise your hand if you're... All of our checkpoints, all of our road crossings, all those have to be manned from the first muster through to the last. And I really want to thank the mushers. As you know, this has been a very difficult year in West Virginia, but in our race, we had 2 mushers maliciously attacked, and it's just amazing to see how this community of mushers comes together. You can be fierce competitors on the trail, but when someone's in trouble or someone's in need, this community always seems to come together and make great things happen. And I think that's why I love the sport, why I love this mushing community. So thank you for that. So that's round of applause for yourself. Then just an anomaly this year. If you think starting position matters, it doesn't. In all 3 of our races, the winner was the last person out of the chute. So it's just kind of a unique thing that happened this year. So we're going to go into our awards. This time I'd like to welcome back to the stage. You all know him, the man with the silver tongue from the Silver Creek Kennels, Ward Wallen.
silver tongue, that's a new one. Calls a lot of things. First of all, there was a pink iPhone left out, so if anybody's missing one, go to the front desk over there. Kirk was talking about volunteers, but how many in here are handlers? Raise your hand that were out there volunteering. We all know how much the handlers do to help our mushers down the trail, so it's really a team effort. This year's race was truly an amazing race. It's been the biggest field of mushers in 30 years. It's been probably the strongest field of mushers. We have 5 returning champions. And for me, for being part of it for so long, it reminded me of the tough old Bear Grease days, where you hope half the field makes it. And before we start giving out our awards, I really would like to give a quick kudos out to those who didn't get to the finish line, and those of you who didn't. This has always been one tough-ass race, any way you sliced it. And Alice and Blake, Kevin, Mary, Nick, Jen, Nate, Aaron, Laura, Ryan, John, Jesse, Kat, and Andy. Let's give those folks a round of applause. It was really kind of fun having some people out here that haven't been here before. I was talking to Jesse a little bit, and Jesse, I said, how's your race? Your team looked good coming in, and he said, I haven't raced much, but it was all about the dogs. He said, I didn't really want to go much further, and he was talking about what the dogs do for him, and I think that's the same for a lot of mushers. So it's really fun to see that. So. Now, as we talked earlier, Lang Feeds this year donated additional money. Additional money you think always is going to the top few mushers, and they didn't do it that way, which is kind of neat. So we're starting out in 10th place, and this is also our Red Lantern winner, Lisa Dietzen Weaver. She will receive a check of $1,200. Part of that is her purse money, but part of that was the 10th place team coming in got an additional $750 for Lang Fees. So Lisa, come on up.
Shoes are optional, apparently.
I am done with my boots. Well, I had every intention not to take the lantern this year, but I guess it's not my fault that everybody behind me this year kind of dropped out, but kudos to all of you for trying and making a good effort. It was not an easy trail by any means, and I didn't have any goals as far as time or finishing this year. Our goals were dog care, and I feel like we did that. I wanted to get as many dogs to the finish line as possible. I don't know if it's a first, but it was a first for me, but Squirrel took out half my team on the way to Mineral Center. So that really steep downhill, that's marked 600 times before you get to it. Steep hill, caution. We were about halfway down it when a red squirrel decided to run through the middle of my team, and they tried chasing it. So I ended up carrying 3 dogs in the bag up to Mineral Center, and God bless the 7 dogs that pulled our fat butts up that hill, because we got to the top and we were all pretty excited to take a breather. And I actually got to see the view in the daylight last time. We got to see it in the night, so it was nice to actually see the view that we were so hard to see. So I want to thank my handling crew, because you guys, you kept me on par this time. We were in and out of those checkpoints on time, within a couple of minutes of those times. My husband Derek got home feeding and taking care
do. And before Remy comes up here, you know, Remy and Kat have been running dogs for quite a while, and it's really kind of interesting as they have been raising their family. One of them has, since a very little age, has spoken only French, and I can't remember so who does what, but either Kat is speaking in French, and then Remy is speaking in English. It was the other way around. Okay, I couldn't remember what it was, but you know, what a great way to raise your children. So, as Arrow used to call him when he was young, Remy La Duck. Come on.
I don't know what to say, just really happy I made it to the end. I wish Catherine would have to do it right and made it to me. Didn't happen, but we got to go back, I guess, so she can do it. I want to thank Melanie for coming, helping us. It was the first time ending, and she did great. Really hope she come back again with us. This is an amazing race we got here. I told that to a few people here, but it was the best last run I ever had in the race. I ran that last run. It was beautiful, pristine trail. There was nothing more you could ask for the last run of a race. You guys did an amazing job. And all the volunteers and all the people who took on, everybody's so warm and pleasant to be around. Yeah, just thanks everybody. It was great. Thank you.
Good job, Remy. You guys have a safe trip back to New Brunswick.
Thank you.
In seventh place, Sean McCarty. Wow. In eighth place, Damon Raymaker, $750.
Yeah, well, this is our second attempt and first time I've actually made it this far up here. So it was wonderful to be here. The hills here are no joke, and they just get bigger the further up here you get. And there was at one point, it was kind of the middle of the night, we were cruising and I saw this light. It was up high, and I thought, man, is there a radio tower or something out here that just doesn't make sense? And, you know, then as we get closer, I look up and here's the trail marker at the top of the hill, and so. You gotta think the dogs probably wonder, every time we get to the bottom of those hills, like, oh man, another one. Same thing with it, but all in all, it was a wonderful run, and we had a good time. I gotta give a shout out to our handler crew here. These guys were incredible. Couldn't have been done without you guys, so I'm very grateful and thank you, and we had a lot of fun, so thank you.
Good job, Damon. Sean McCarty's next. Did you guys guess that one?
Thank you, everybody.
That was more than what he said last time around. You know, we heard somebody talking earlier about the dogs and the vet care. And at this time, I'd like to bring up our head vet, Katie, to hand out the best care for teams. So come on, Katie.
Thanks everybody for being so welcoming. My first year as head vet, it felt a little bit like a trial by fire, but I'm proud of everybody that was here this year. I think you guys did an excellent job. And getting to the finish line, well, it's part of what we consider for our Vet Choice Award. It's not the only thing, and I just want to thank everybody and kind of commend everybody on their back there throughout the race and making hard decisions, because I think you guys have to do that a lot. So thank you guys, thank all of you for that. But as far as our award goes, there's a lot of different factors that we consider, and competitiveness is one of them, dog care is the other, and we would like to give the award to Ryan Anderson.
Well, thank you. I got 3 dogs, and I do all the care, all the training, all everything, but, these are always shared with my sister.
Nice job, Ryan. Nice job, Mickey. In 6th place, we heard earlier about the accident that occurred over in Wisconsin, and I know that's, it was tough with the dogs and everything, but in 6th place, with a check of $1,050 is Sarah Kiefer, and being part of that accident was tough on everybody, but it was great that you're able to come back and have a good race. So 6th place, Sarah, come on up.
Thank you. I'm really happy that I was able to make it to Grand Portage here. It was a tough trail. But this place is a victory for Fredericton Mushing. There was a lot of work put in by a lot of people to put training on the dogs that got them this far. And so first and foremost, I'd like to thank Ryan Reddington for helping us to get those dogs all the way here. And I'd like to say thanks to the other people that helped train the dogs, especially in the last few weeks when I have been at home in the city with wildfire taking care of him. So in the last couple weeks before the race, we had some other help other than us. I'd like to thank Brian Allen for that, and Dan Klein and Morgan Martins for helping to get my dogs ready for Bear Grease. I'd like to thank my husband and the handling crew for taking care of us at all the checkpoints. So Jeff and Tiger and Megan, Cody, Todd, and Jill. We also had Ryan Allen out there too, and a gentleman, Tyler, came out from Alaska to help us out during the race. So it was incredible to have them all out there. I'd like to thank Wade for letting us 2 dogs replace the ones that we didn't have due to those circumstances. So thank you, Wade, for the dogs. And I'd like to thank the dogs themselves, especially the 7 that brought me in here, but they did a good job. Thank you.
Good job, Sarah. At this time, I would like to call up our musher rep, Blake Frecking, to hand out the Sportsmanship Award. Blake?
Thank you. So, the Sportsmanship Award is an award that's voted on by the mushers. It's discussed just prior to this event right here. And every year it's amazing. It's a 300-mile race, and there's a lot of things happen. When we have these conversations, there's always a few pretty amazing stories that come up. And, my fellow mushers are a bunch of pretty amazing people and very giving and helpful. This year, the award goes to Aaron Ultimus. So this year, trail conditions were pretty rough on Poplar Lake, and Colleen had some issues, and Aaron took the time and effort to help her out. So,
chased me, and we took the right trail and kept going. And my dogs liked the lake, so we had a speedy little time until we hit the line of grade, and then they all stopped. So she was able to pull ahead of me at that point, and I kind of chased her most of the way to Skyport, for which I was very grateful. And Queen and I have been running this race for quite a few years now, and I feel like we are often just ahead or behind each other. It's been really fun. So I had a great time with all the mushers on the trail. It was really fun.
Aaron, this will give you a little time to recollect yourself here since you don't like coming up in front here. One thing when Katie was up earlier and gave the vet award, on behalf of the board, the vets did a great job out there, and for the vets as a whole, let's give them all another round of applause. So Aaron Ultimates, I love to pick on the first 5 teams every year, and you guys have seen Erin around at the checkpoints, and she gets a little sleep deprived, and she's got the 1,000-mile stare, and Erin got into the first checkpoint at Highway 2 and said to Matt, "I am so tired." After 37 miles, she was sleep deprived. So in 5th place, and this position also involves some additional money from Lang Feeds, with a check of $1,900, $1,950, Aaron Ultimus.
Hard race looks so easy. It's pretty incredible. Getting to the start of a race is really difficult, which is why I was so tired by 2 harbors with a 4-year-old, trying to even train, much less pack up the truck, much less get to the start. This feels like its own challenge. So I tried to start off a little on the sleep-deprived side, but thank you to my husband for the handling, as well as Anna and Eric. You guys did a phenomenal job. Matt had, this is our neighborhood, and Matt went home to get the kid on the bus for school and put her to bed after getting, the dogs in and out of the checkpoint. So that's a lot of work. I wanted to talk about what I call the 5 stages of emotion when I'm in a race. So it's always kind of a roller coaster. And I spent a lot of time thinking about this because we have so many hours out there to think about dogs and mushing and sort of what your life means. The first 2 legs I would call the honeymoon phase. Everything was going great. Everybody had these fun, fast race times, smooth, hard trail. It just seemed like things were going fabulously. There was no hitches. And then early this year, the wheels started kind of falling off the wagon. Like we had to drop 2 dogs pretty early on in the race, which usually enabled to kind of hold the team together for a long time. So I call this the storming phase. And we had a pretty tough leg in the sawbell, and I thought, well, that's okay. When we go start going to trail, it's going to be better. So we got some reserves in the team. And those dogs just, we had like our 20 miles to double track, and then they just started going to the bathroom. And you just wouldn't believe how much dogs can poop. And I started colonoscopy or something. And so for like the next 3 legs, there's sort of this depression and bargaining phase. Like, I probably shouldn't be in dogs, and I hope I can get these dogs to the finish line. I'm probably not going to get them to the finish
Good job out there, Aaron. This next musher I know pretty well, the youngest musher this year. Somebody actually in the checkpoint, said, so Arrow is 19. How old is his mom? And I said, well, she's 40 years older. So they were having a lot of fun with that. But anyhow, in the Finland checkpoint, it's Arrow comes up to me and he's kind of out of it, and he said, we got to cut rest. Those guys are hours ahead of me. I said, you're not cutting rest in this kind of race. You don't cut rest. We all have 24 hours, and plus your differential. So he kind of stormed away a little bit. And Ryan Anderson said, well, what was that all about? I said, Arrow wants to cut rest. And Ryan starts laughing and goes, let him blow up the team. Let him. But the actual funny part was he was at Mineral Center, and the media was out there, and they were interviewing him. And they said, Arrow, can you tell me about your strategy? And I was kind of walking away, and he said, well, I thought I was going to take more rest early in the race and save them for later. And I'm back in the background jumping up and down. This kid wanted to cut rest earlier? Give me a break. In fourth place with a check of $1,500 Arrow wallet.
So that may have been a true story. Yeah, but no, like he said, at Mineral Center, boy, I'd been for a few miles and came up and started talking to me, and I saw my dad's kind of standing behind the camera, and right away in my head, I'm like, God, I like kissing my dad off. Boy, he comes up and he's talking, he's like, so what is your strategy? And I knew that would have been a perfect time to eat at him a little bit. So that's what I told him I wanted to be a little conservative up front, so that was funny. When you're on a sled for a long time, I run from Sawmill or Trail Center to Skyport. I think I did it in like 7 hours and 7.5 hours. And you just have a lot of time to think. And there's we need to thank everybody. We need to thank volunteers, the marshals, the trail boss, everybody here, the fans. And there's 4 people that I really need to thank. I would not be here without them, and that's obviously my mom, my dad, and 2 people who really stepped up helping us run dogs this year. Is one of my best friends, Garrett. He's at the house running dogs whenever he can now. He really likes it, having a blast. And the other one's Jody from Nexus. If you know Jody, we all know he's kind of a character, but he absolutely loves running dogs and has a blast doing it. So, thank you.
Good job, Arrow. In third place is my wife, Cleen, which you know, of course. I said to her, I always give them a little pep talk before each run, and going to the finish line, there was 26 seconds between her and Arrow. And I said, what are you going to do if he comes storming behind you? And she said, I brought him into this world, I can take him on. The check of $2,100 Cleen Wall.
Wow, this is pretty cool. Thank you to the veterinarians, all volunteers, our judges. How about our judges? They help the advice. They've run dogs in the past, so they know what they're doing and they know what we're doing. So my thanks goes to them. I have to talk about my handling crew. A couple people asked me, is the competition pretty tough between you and Arrow? Well, I said, yeah, it's pretty tough. But for lack of a better word, we had the A team and the B team. And we had the A team handlers and the B team handlers. And if you think there's competition between Arrow and I, the competition between the handling crews is multiplied times 10. Another group of people that I really want to thank, I want to thank the photographers. George in the back corner, when he's all dressed in camel, standing against a tree, and all you see is his hand. George! The photographers who capture this race, so the board can put pictures out there, and the people can see what they want to donate to. You guys are awesome. You see foot tracks going down. You're coming to a road crossing because the photographers are hiding in the woods somewhere. Thank you, Ward, for putting everything together back at home. People like to ask, oh, do you race? And Ward's like, no, I'm just the general manager. But Derek, Ward's brother Jerome is back. He's one of the handlers back on the crew. We got Angie and Farron Weeks who cook, and they'll whatever you want, it's on the ready there. They prepare meals for all of us. Carol's buddies, Nick Renexis, Thomas Rowley, and Harold's right, Jody Renexis and Garrett. You guys coming and running dogs and training has really, really been a huge part of our season this year. So thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of your day.
So in second place is Wade Mars. And did you guys hear at the start of the race when he was introduced, or was I missing something? They said, here's Wade Mars, the 2022 Rookie of the Year. Did anyone else hear that? He said that at the start, and I thought, wow, that's pretty brazen. But anyhow, I was talking to Wade out there, and I said, how did you like our trail? And what did you think of the bear grease? And his eyes got really big, and he goes, those are some big hills. I didn't think they were that way. So in second place, with a check of $3,700, which also included an extra $1,000 from line fees, and also our Rookie of the Year, please let me welcome Wade Mars.
First off, thank you to all of my sponsors and everything like that. And huge thank you to my crew handlers. I was definitely a rookie in that situation. Did a horrible job of getting things prepared for them. They did an awesome job of taking care of me on the trail. I got a lot of sleep, and the dogs were well taken care of, so thank you guys. Thank you to every volunteer, whether you're at road crossing, veterinarian, judge, board member, any of you. Thank you so much for putting this race on. It's I've been watching this race for many years from Alaska, and I was so excited to get a chance to come here and run it. I made a lot of rookie mistakes in the race, but I had a ton of fun. It was one of my favorite races so far. Middle distance, and probably one of the toughest 300-mile races as far as trail conditions and terrain goes. It's very intense. My legs were about cranking up when I stepped on stage here. Done too much running the last few days, so. And thank you to Ryan Remington for showing me around the 148 and the trails and everything this winter. It's been a lot of fun training down here at Tim and stuff, so. Congratulations to Ryan Anderson. You smoking the trail. I was trying everything I had to catch up and keep up, and it wasn't happening. So that's a phenomenal dog to me, and good job management. So, thanks, David.
So Ryan Anderson, Ryan's been pretty dominating for a lot of years, and you've heard me say before, I think he's probably got the best record and probably the best musher that Minnesota has seen with the number of victories he's had in so many races. I had a chance, at one point I talked to him, I said, how's your team doing? And this was at Trail Center, and he had a little twinkle in his eye, and he said, I have really a good team. And so then I went to his sister Mickey, and I said, well, how's Ryan doing? And she goes, every time he gets to Trail Center, all he does is bitch and hates this part of the race. Should I run him? When should I push him? So without any further ado, 4-time champion of the John Berry Sundog Marathon, please welcome Ryan Anderson with a check to the amount of $5,250.
I do hate that part of the race. I love Trail Center, it's just the first morning run to Trail Center. But yeah, let's get through that too. Getting here this year has just been a lot of challenges, just with weather, training the dog team, and family life, having a new baby in the house. You got 1 and a 3-year-old, and they go to daycare, and with COVID and school being closed, and you got to drop everything, you got to go get them. So to get to this race has been a huge challenge, and I got to thank my wife for taking care of the kids this week so I could be gone, and my mom. So my daughter has never really been able to say grandma. She always said rah-rah. So the rah-rah always comes to the house, and if I got to go get the kids, or if maybe she's going to go get the kids, or just to help me get prepared for this race. And she had to spend all of last week at the house taking care of my son. So I didn't even know if I'd make it to the race because of other circumstances with just the kids, that I would have to not be able to train the team this week, and not be able to get the truck back. So I was made it here without my wife and my mom. So thank you. And thanks to all the volunteers and board members and everybody. So thanks.
Good job, Ryan. I did omit that Ryan had an additional $1,500 from Lang Feeds, and Wade had an additional $1,000 from Lang Feeds. So at this time, I will just call on Board President Kurt Weber to offer any parting words. Kurt?
Thank you. I'd like to thank Board for that. He always does a great job, and when I asked him to do this, he was traveling back from South Dakota. They just picked up a dog, and I said, yeah, because that's what you need, is more dogs in your life, and it's a hunting dog. So we gave him that pass. But thank you. Very last minute came up and always does a wonderful job. He wrote the script this morning over the coffee. So. Thank you everyone for being here. Hope to see you next year, January 28th. That's the right date? Last Sunday. January 29th.
Last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
And all mushers come up for one photo. One photo.
Wonderful. That's all I have. Thank you again. Hope to see you all next year.